And there's a place that I've dreamed of, where I can free my mind. I hear the sounds of the season and lose all sense of time. Feels like we're in a dream, you know what I mean.
Right there, Camp McIntosh.
Yes, it is, Mikey. Yes, you are right. It is Camp McIntosh, and of course, they are the sponsor of tonight's show. For anybody who's looking to get away in September, this is a great option for you. September 23rd to 27th, and I want to thank Richard Dunlop for putting these posters together. Thanks, Richard. It means the world, dude, to have this kind of work being done behind the scenes, because it certainly helps me do my job. But it's our 5th annual CFN retreat. There is a lot of information, and we want you to reach out to Andre and Tracy if you have any questions. Those are the prices. These are some of the banners that you're going to be seeing posted. But again, we'd love to have you. And if you need to find out a little bit more, by all means, please reach out to Andre and Tracy. There is the email, there's the website, and of course the phone number. Love to have you join us, because it is going to be a great time. And just to spice things up a bit, and I can't thank these two gentlemen that I'm about to announce, because of course we have the retreat in August, the 9th to the 15th to be specific, at Horwood Lake Lodge. There are still 2 beds available. So if you are interested in joining us in August for a lot of fishing and a lot of food and a lot of fun, by all means, please reach out to Doris and Warren. They're awaiting your call. There is the toll-free number and, of course, the email. But again, as I was saying, we do a fish off at our retreats. There's some great prizes that Shimano steps up, and a big shout out to Shimano for helping us get back to our community. We can't thank you guys enough for doing that. But also, on top of that, Jim Wilson from fishhawk.net, who runs a charter company, very successful charter company. He's just a gem of a lad, has offered up a half-day trip to one winner, and I don't know how many guests they're allowed to bring, but at least one winner that attends either Camp McIntosh or Horwood Lake Lodge. So very, very cool. And then on top of that, we have Jay, who has also stepped up. Richard went out fishing with him, and he wanted to become very much a part of CFN, so he is in a huge way. This is Jay Chapesky, and he's got a great guide company, great charter company that he does up in Algonquin Park, and he is offering up at least one winner that might be able to take multiple guests, but at least one winner, again, who attends either Camp McIntosh or Horwood. So we're going to put all your names basically on a wheel, and we're going to spin to find out who wins, on top of going to the retreats. And really, at the end of the day, with the value of these charters, you're literally getting half your money back. So we can't thank these two enough for stepping up in a huge way. But in the meantime, if you are looking to do a charter, please reach out to Jim or Jay. Whoever supports CFN, we want to support in a big way. Let's have a look at who we have with us tonight. Steven's with us. How you doing, Steve? Nice to have you. We're going to be seeing you shortly. We'll be also seeing you as well, Steve, very shortly. Gary's in the house as well. How you doing, Gary? Rick, yeah, baby. He's been out on the kayak. He has been ripping some lips, which is nice to see. Tony, Tony, is this going to be the year that we're going to finally do a fish pick edit for you? Because, with the bump board and, some hints that perhaps you might get it out of the water soon, is this going to be the year we're going to finally see you holding a fish with the CFN logo? I'm excited. I have to say, I'm really excited to see this. I think this is going to be really cool. Jeremy, I do believe a package arrived today. I haven't had a chance to look at it, of course, because Mondays are always busy. But I do believe it was from you, because I saw the name Parker on it. So I'm looking forward to opening that up and seeing what you have donated to our CFN community. We'll have to, you and I will have to talk in regards to how we're going to give that away, because I want you to be a part of that as well. Joe's in the house. How you doing, Joe? Nice to have you along. Mark, you're going to want to stick around with, yes, we're going to show your hero shot with the Compre Conquer Challenge. Lester, how you doing, buddy? Nice to have you along as well. That was quite a pike that you caught. Thanks for sharing it. It was nice to post something from out west like that. Lloyd's in the house as well. How you doing? Richard, my brother, who I'll tell you does some incredible sharing. Can't thank you enough. You are a gem. Erica's in the house. How you doing, Erica? Eve's here as well. Eve, I'm going to hope that you're going to be able to share a link, because we're going to be, just after I say hello to everybody, I will make sure that we talk about this. And if there's a link that people can donate, please let me know. And I will certainly get that out. So let's jump right to this. Unfortunately, some horrific news was shared by 613 Shore Angling. It was Sean Andrew who shared it. And basically, it is a call to arms for everybody to help out his brother, who unfortunately has come across some really devastating luck. And I don't mean to use luck in the term that it's supposed to be used in, because this is anything but luck. But unfortunately, a horrific fire happened on a house that he basically built himself. And there's nothing. Like, he's got absolutely nothing. Nothing was able to be salvaged. Now, at the end of the day, of course, insurance is probably, I would like to think that insurance is going to help out. But in the meantime, we kind of have to sort of buy some time and allow him to provide for his kids, provide for his puppies, his wife, himself. This was a dream home, and this is awful. Like, I mean, it's a total loss. And as I said, Eve wanted me to share this tonight. And again, I would love to see anybody from our CFN community step up and help out. We could certainly send a donation through the Serena Fund. But as it is, as I said, it's horrific to see. And Eve, I want to thank you so much for bringing it to our attention. So, as I said, it's never a nice feeling when terrible stuff like that happens. So again, our thoughts and prayers are with them, and hopefully they're able to find a way to make it through, because that's a life-changing event. There's no doubt about it. Moving on, of course, we have some news from the NCAA. It was the second qualifier weekend that went on this past weekend, and of course there was some incredible fish shared. Our top leader, of course, Patrick, he set a very, very tough pace, and look at these incredible fish. So it's a 3 fish stringers, as Danny and I have explained on our Power Hour segments. It's a 3 walleye stringer, and Fish Donkey has an accredited weigh scale that, based on length, it will accumulate whatever weight it is that they believe that it is for those length of fish. And Patrick, as I said, he ran away with this. But what was really cool, because of course we had a bunch of folks qualify last weekend, or the last weekend that it ran, and we had some new qualifiers that qualified this weekend. And of course, Patrick was definitely one of them. And part of the requirements is, of course, these fish have to be released. So we have to see a live release in order for it to be a verified fish. Needless to say, there is going to be Q3, June 5th and 7th. So if you live in the Ontario area and you love fishing for walleye, by all means, please stay tuned to that, because, as I said, June 5th to 7th is the next qualifier. There'll be a championship at the end, and I am happy to announce not only did Patrick, but Maddox also qualified. Ryan qualified the weekend before. Christopher Hanna, Nolan, and Troy Trombley there at the bottom. They all qualified for the championship. And really, like, when you see the totals, guys, I mean, go out and catch a fish. Go and catch a walleye. Go and catch a freaking walleye bed. You get a chance to win a generator at the end of this during the championship. So, as I said, some really cool things. I want to thank my partner Danny for putting this all together. But if you are interested, that is all the information you need. Just go to Fish Donkey. We'll talk about it on Wednesday on the Power Hour. But as I said, lots of cool things happening. And of course, This weekend brought the dawn of the Comp Rate Conquer All Challenge. It's a contest that's all about small fish and big prizes. This is what some of the entries look like. I don't have a plethora of them, unfortunately, but I do know that there's a whole bunch on the CFN Fish Off Facebook page. But that is a verified ballot right there. That's a ballot, and you get a chance to win some cool Shimano prizes. I was mentioning Mark. That's what a hero shot looks like. He is wearing enough Shimano. He is using Shimano Symmetry rod that I believe he won during the fish off. And by doing that, it qualifies him for one ballot for the Hero Shot Challenge, which is show your Shimano, and he might take home a Compre and a Vanford reel for his troubles. So, Mark, keep up the great work, pal. Love your dedication, your passion, and support towards our community. It means the absolute world. You do some great stuff, and we thank you for it. So, as I said, all you have to do is go over to Anglers Atlas, click on the MyCatch app. It is uploaded and ready to go. It's very, very easy. We'll be talking about it again tomorrow, Turdy Tuesdays, because, of course, we're giving one comp rate away starting tomorrow. We're going to be doing this each week as the Comp Challenge wraps up. So we're going to find out who the lucky winner is tomorrow. I haven't spoken to Mike. I know he's really, really busy, so I'm hoping he's putting this all together. But at the end of the day, a Compre is designated to be given away tomorrow. So join us on Tourney Tuesday. It should be fun, and hopefully we'll be able to share a few more prizes and pictures and whatever else. But needless to say, stay tuned. We announced our CFN app. Very incredible feedback from both the community and outside of our community. I'm really excited to tell you guys that this is very close to launch, like very, very close to launch. For right now, based on cost, it's going to be a web-based app, and Trevor McPherson has done some incredible work. So, as I said, stay tuned, because this is going to be a big deal, and I want to thank everybody for sharing the post that CFN put on the Facebook page, because, as I said, this is finally going to do something that should have been done a long time ago. We need to be able to speak to the next new Canadians, next anglers of Canada, and unfortunately, unless you're English and French, there's not a lot of rules available. There's not a lot of regs available in various languages. Well, the CFN app's going to do that, but it's also going to do a heck of a lot more. And as I said, right now we have it in front of some big companies, big names in the fishing industry. I want to thank Bob Mahoney from Shimano, who has put us in contact with Canadian Tire. So as I said, this thing could take off. I'm not really sure where it's going to go. But I will say I am extremely excited to be along for the journey. So, as I said, I think this is going to be a big deal, and it's going to put CFN on the map in a big way. So stay tuned, folks, for that. As I said, lots going on in CFN land. So as I said, if I can't get to a post for whatever reason, I don't answer you right away on an email, text, or whatever, please don't take offense to it. It's simply because there is so much going on, but we're going to be announcing and launching the CFN app very, very soon. Along with the app, it was very, very important to us to continue the education pool. And what Trevor has devised he actually devised this first before he devised the app. It was a very intense learning program that starts right from the fry level, which is entry level, all the way up to the elites. And we're going to talk a little bit about this with Big Jim, because Big Jim has signed on to advise on some of the elite levels. But this will give you just a little bit of rundown. This I will play just before we bring on the big man. So have a listen, because as I said, it's pretty cool.
Scotty Martin here from CFN. Over the years, we've introduced a lot of people to fishing. But one thing we've always talked about is how important it is to keep new anglers learning, growing, and staying involved in the outdoors. That's why I want to introduce you to someone new.
Hey CFN, my name's Finley. I'm here to introduce Future Anglers Canada. Future Anglers is a structured fishing education program for ages 6 to 18, designed for both at-home learning or instructor-led classes, helping young anglers build confidence and skills through step-by-step progression. Fishing is about more than just catching fish. It's about learning where fish live, why they move, how habitat works, and how to make good decisions on the water. The Future Anglers program was designed to help new anglers continue learning step by step, from the basics all the way through advanced fishing concepts as they level up.
And what I really like about this program is it's not just about fishing. It's about confidence, patience, decision-making, and getting more kids and families involved outdoors.
And as Future Anglers grows, we're also exploring future tools to help more Canadians and newcomers access fishing information, regulations, and learning resources in different languages.
We're excited to share this journey with the CFN community. This is just the beginning, so keep an eye out for Future Anglers, and we'll see you on the water.
When he was born, he tried to reel in the umbilical cord. Bass named him as their personal best. His power pole came with a stripper. Forward-facing sonar uses him to find fish. Chuck Norris is his co-angler. He is the most interesting fisherman in the world. Stay fishing, my friends.
There he is, the most
Yo.
interesting. Yeah, buddy. How you doing?
What's going on?
I don't even know where to begin with a question like that, Jim, to be quite honest with you. What's going on? I tell you, there is lots going on, and there is an extra little pep in your step. So I don't know if you want to share this right away, but I think it's probably best that you do. I have to say I am very pleased and honored to announce this, but Jim has signed on to the BKK team in a big way.
Yeah, it's all done.
That's awesome, buddy.
Yeah, I eventually learned what a good hook looked like. I got to tell you something, Todd. I don't know if I told you this story. Probably did. I don't remember anything anymore. When I was at Gagnon's a couple of years ago, and Chuck, who is the young lad who his dad owns BKK, I had told him a story about looking over the hooks, and Tammy had a magnifying glass here that still kicked around her desk from the days when just fishing used to be done on paper.
Wow.
And everything was, and you had sometimes things were too small. You had to look at them to see that they were right on corners and things. You had to examine it because we've been doing it for forever, right? And like I remember when they used to go and you'd be at the Sun and they would print the pieces out, cut them out to fit the space, and put the glue on and roll them onto the page, and then put them at the big camera and it would be like poof, take a picture, and that would be the plate that they would put on the press. It was really, really cool to watch this thing. But CFN rulers, all the guys. I like when you put the comments up so I can see everything. Huh?
Yeah.
Then I know who to go back. I'm making memos. Got to get them. There you go. Hey, James, look at my fish behind me.
Yes, sir.
There it is. I'm pointing right. And it's pointing up on the back. But so I'm looking at the hooks, and I said to myself, I'm curious. So I reached across the desk here, and I found the big magnifying glass that you had, and I had the OCD box, and I took out 4 or 5 random packs, and there's so many hooks in the box. It took me 15 minutes to decide what 4 or 5 I was going to take out.
Jeez.
Nowhere to go. And anyways, I got them out and I examined every one under the magnifying glass. And I did not put one hook to the side that I thought wasn't formed perfect or had a perfect point on it. And I mean, like, I'm looking close, like I'm right on them, eh? Then I took a whole bunch of random other hooks that I used to have in well, it's gone now. I sold it, but a box that had all my stuff in it. From hooks and things from tournaments at different companies, specialty hooks, whatever, all the different kinds of stuff that you needed. And I started looking them over, and I went through 4 or 5 bags, random, 3 or 4 different companies, and I found 3 or 4 hooks that were shouldn't have been in those bags.
Oh,
And and you know when I always talk to people about little things making a difference and about checks
yes.
and everything. So you get bit off by a pike or hike or get a snag and you go to put on a new hook and you take one out of the bag. If you don't check it, you could get a bad one. And when you're out
Yeah.
fishing in the weekend with your buddies, if you lose a fish, well, you get heckled then, you know. But when you're out fishing for $100,000 and you lose a fish, and you look in the water and you realize that that's the one that could have made the difference for you in your weight, you know, or something. It's a heartbreak. So I was telling this to Chuck. So then Chuck's dad comes, and Chuck's dad is Asian. He obviously does not speak too much English, like very little. And Chuck is explaining to him while I'm sitting tying jigs again, ganyons there, like I do. He brought him over to introduce him to me, and we're chatting. And I got up and I did the handshake and everything with him, and he's just a real, the epitome of an Asian gentleman, like very quiet, calm, just look
Yeah.
the part that you're supposed to as a
Yeah.
businessman, you know, well dressed, the whole bit, eh? And I'm they're talking to him, and all of a sudden Chuck is talking to his dad in their own tongue, and he's explaining to him. And the reason I knew he was telling him this story was because he's got his hand like this and he's going like this, and he's telling him about the glass. So he gets his phone and he says something to Chuck, and I think he said to him, "Is it okay to show him this? If you tell him to keep it to yourself, to like show him the actual thing going on." I asked him after, "Is it okay to talk about it?" He said, "Oh yeah, there's no problem." And anyways, cut a long story short, he shows me a machine, and the hooks are going through it, and I'm watching it, and I see the hook go through, and the light up top flashes. The hook goes through to the pile, continues on, and it shows him going through. And then he says to me, "Big Jim, watch now when they make the machine go at production speed. And you can't tell that there's hooks going by
Oh, no way.
because it's so fast they're going by. Every hook gets a picture taken, and it can tell from the picture if there's anything wrong."
Wow.
And I forget the number that was showing on the thing, the percentage of the hooks, but it was like 99.97 or something. So it was virtually, there was no hooks coming off the line that weren't good. It was like less than 1 in 1,000 that weren't good.
Oh, smokes.
It just shows the quality of the products, you know.
Well, you know, you've talked about BKK, and I'll be
Yep.
honest with you. I didn't know the first thing about BKK because, as you had mentioned, it's more of a saltwater hook than really. Well, it made its claim in the
Yes,
saltwater.
that was where it was well known. Yeah. Yep.
and it's now moved to freshwater. And of course, when it came to Canada, it was a big rave. Everybody was talking about it. And of course, I asked you here on live, like, what is this BKK? I haven't heard anything about this. And then you went on to explain that, you know, it's one of the, it's a benchmark when it comes to the quality
And they're
of hooks.
expanding. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know whether they're expanding products that exist. I'm going to get up to speed on the company, obviously, but the stuff that I see people posting, and I'm looking, I'm saying, I never even heard of that. Like a certain jig head or a rig or
Yeah.
a specialty hook that they've got, you know, things I've never even heard of. Now, I don't know whether they're expanding, but I'll tell you one thing. They've got some products and they're reacting to a changing market, because right now the bass market is really evolving because of the smallmouth. It's
Yes.
really evolving. You're seeing a huge change in it. So it's
Well,
it's cool.
and what we're also seeing, Jim, too, with the advancement of some of these technologies, we're also going back to the grassroots. And Roland Martin shared, it was an interesting, he was tying a snell and why he tied it a certain way.
To make the hook pivot. Yeah.
Did you see that? Like,
Yeah. Oh, I actually have right here. I have a book, an old hardcover book here, and I've been writing things down in it to do with BKK and my other interest right now, which I have a deal done for rods and other stuff and a whole bunch of things. And what I've done is I've chosen to go with a distribution company, so I have access to a whole bunch of stuff. as opposed to just, like just a Daiwa or whatever, like there's just a myriad of companies, and we'll be doing that. Plus I'll be adding some other things to it, but we'll talk about that next week. It is a done deal. And it's really nice. I was totally impressed when you get a call that there's a letter coming across to you. All I have to do is read it and acknowledge it to make it happen. And I don't have to sign it. There's no expectations from my end, but they have such and such will do, and they rhyme off all the things that they will do, which makes it legal that they have to do for me, right down to wrapping the vehicle. Like, I think it's just really, really cool to see that people in this industry, in this day and age, trust you like that. And I talked to a buddy of mine today that called me. I hadn't talked with for a while. He's been sick. And it was really cool when I told him that, because he came from a real, I wouldn't say a legal background, but a big business background.
Yep.
And he understands the crossing your I's and dotting your T's type shit, And he was telling me about that too. So.
And it goes to, it's a testament to the kind of person that you are, the professional you are, I should say, not just the person, but the professional you are. Because, I think, the mood after the Shimano announcement was made was probably bleak. A lot of people maybe had some negative connotations, negative feelings, and you remained neutral. Like, you remain, like your professional self. And
well, that's,
I think,
Scotty, part of that is to protect myself.
Yep.
Going out and looking for new people to work with is not my strong point. Because I haven't had to do it.
Yep.
I see so many of the guys in the industry that they jump around. They're all over the place. They've learned how to do that. That's not my they're probably shocked when they deal with me, how open and how trusting I am.
Mm-hmm.
And, I don't think anybody would openly try to screw me on anything, especially at this point in time. But no, some of the people have said to me that they really appreciate it, even when things just couldn't work because of budgets. And of course, trying to get a new person to work with you at this time of the year is virtually impossible, because when they do the budgets, they're doing them right now for next year, or started at them anyway, like they're well into it. And then say come September, they know that, like at such and such a company, that they're still going to have Billy Bob, they're still going to have like so-and-so, they're still going to have this team, they're going to have that. We're not letting those go. So that's 3/4 of the pie. And now, geez, we want to do a new show. So there's another piece of the pie. So that's that. Then they get into the actual season and things aren't going quite right, or something's not right. There's another little piece of the pie disappears, and all of a sudden the pie's gone. And they haven't done anything new. And I had this explained to me by Tom Brook once.
Yeah.
And it was, he drew it out for me. He drew out the pie and he wrote in names. And then it was really funny, because he was going to give me a raise, and he wrote in my name and he put in a slice of the pie, and then he scratched out the line and made it just a little bigger. It was cool. But all these things are up there, so it's not a good time to be looking. I actually had one person from a company tell me, do you want some stuff, and we'll do this in the fall. And I chose not to wait around for my own good. I need to be connected.
Yes.
Yeah. I've always had somewhere to be all my life. Plus, right now, this is a year where I have to redo all my photographs. Yeah. I have to redo everything. People don't realize there's a lot more to being in the fishing business than just, having a rod and reel in your hand or whatever, right? So it's there's a lot of things there that have to be done. So I've got another company that I had mentioned to you.
Mm-hmm.
That I thought was done,
and
it is done, but it's done for the 2027 budget, and that never came into the conversation. I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
and they only work calendar year,
right?
So what they're going to do is they're going to probably take a couple of ads to keep me happy, which they've always got a little bit of extra money kicking around. They're going to send me whatever I want product wise, so I can start getting all my pictures and stuff. And then come January 1st, I'll have that too. So it'll be, it'll be good. It's, what it is. I don't know how many years I got left at it, but I'm gonna enjoy it right to the end, and somebody's gonna get a good bang for their buck out of me because it's I feel rejuvenated now. I feel absolutely
You can
rejuvenated.
tell.
I experienced it this afternoon
Yep.
when I got that letter, and that was the original company that came to me right after it all happened. So it's no, it's good. It's just
That's
all,
awesome.
all good.
It's so awesome.
Yeah.
George was concerned that it may have been Berkeley. He's thrilled to know that it was. George, you are a cheeky bugger at times, I'll tell you. How you doing, Ed? Nice to have you along as well.
Hey, Eddie.
It's great news that you're sharing, but I think you touched on it just a little bit, how it made you feel. Because I'm not there yet, and I can only imagine when I do that I may feel the same way you do. Do I have any value still in this industry? Am I still relevant? I'm sure there was a whole bunch of things that were going through your head.
Yeah, your mind will change when you get older.
And I'm not looking forward to that.
You'll be fine. The only thing is that every year, right? And I'm living it. The filter comes off this much more. This much more every year.
I can tell by some of the posts you share with me, your filter's starting to erode.
I like that erode. As the current washes by or river runs.
Yes.
Oh.
The river's getting bigger and bigger. The posts get larger and larger. Yeah, absolutely. But it's got to be a great feeling for you to know that not only are you still relevant, but you have value in this industry.
Yeah. And it's right away I got a text from Mercer. Welcome to BKK. Right off the bat, then I got a couple of guys even in the States that are with BKK that I sort of know a bit. They welcomed me. I just thought that was really nice.
And that's how it should be, dude. That's really how it should be.
Yep.
Yeah. Life is all about hills and valleys. You went through a bit of a valley, and you're back on top of the mountain again, pal. I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you.
I'm happy I didn't do anything right away, too. Remember the way I told you I was going to wait a while? I really am.
Yep.
I think it was.
Sometimes it's worth waiting for. Sometimes it's good. As I said, there was a period of remorse that we all had for you, and business is business, and we have to accept. We may not agree, but we have to accept the decision that Shimano made. And as I said, they do wonderful things for our community, and for that we're in debt to them. But it was a blow, and as I said, I've shared that with a number of people. I wasn't expecting it. Didn't really.
No, I will remain confused about that for the rest of my life.
Yeah, but you handled it so professionally, dude. And again, not just for the sake of perhaps getting on with another company, but to show your respect, for the number of years that Shimano invested in you, and 43 years for a company to hold, like that's impressive on both sides.
A lot of good times there, buddy.
Yeah, on both sides.
A lot of wonderful times. When I look back to some of the stuff in the beginning when I was winning giant tournaments, and like I had actual real life prototypes in my hands, stuff that didn't have Shimano written on it, just had a number and things like that. And in the beginning with Tom Brook and everything, when it was different, it's what it is. But no, we move on. It'll all end up good in the end here, and it'll be what it is. And like I said, someone's gonna get a good bang for their buck. So, and I'm not done. There's other things I can get because I've left kind of open here. It's nice. There's no.
Awesome.
I will never do an exclusive thing. I will never do an exclusive thing where I'm tied up for one, But hopefully. But it was funny on the weekend here when I went over to that tackle swap there, the Beckley tackle swap that Crystal from Baitcasters organized. And
yes.
We did a little kids thing there. She got it's a beautiful little building. I used to live right there. That was my township. Look, I would have went to that town hall to pay my taxes or whatever you wanted to do, And they were talking about this forever before I moved, and I figured as soon as I moved, they'll build it. Well, they did. It's here. It was full. But what a beautiful little building. It was great for this. It was a perfect fit. everybody. I mean, the building's gorgeous. It's got lots of parking. It overlooks a swamp. Fortunately, the mosquitoes weren't out yet. As you can see, that giant admission, $3. You know,
Yeah.
but she got over $350 or 350 people. Every table sold out. Every space was full. She could have probably added a few more, but it would have made it cramped. You know.
Yeah.
You know, we were out on the back. There's a big patio out in the back, and we had the kids thing out there, and we let them play. We let them throw little stuffies that looked like fish in a cornhole game.
Cool.
Yeah, and then they came over to the table to me to get a prize, and we had a list that had what do I have on it? A sunfish, a largemouth, a perch, a walleye, a pike, a trout, and a pumpkin seed, I think it was. And they had to write the names beside the fish. They had to identify them.
Yeah.
And as many as they could, and they just put their name and phone number on it, and we slid them in the pile. And then she drew one out, and the kid won a little tackle box and a rod and reel.
Awesome.
So,
And this was the first annual event. So
Yeah.
it sounds like next year is a go already.
Yeah, she's already said she'll do it again. She already booked a date, I think, and it's good because it's outside the sort of lawn raking weekend time. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
it's one of those things, but I just think it's just, oh, you should have done this earlier. No, I don't think so. You know, little thing like that. It was pretty good for a first year. You got 350 people, 350 plus, and that wasn't counting kids. And we had over 50 kids because she printed. I think she said she printed 60 of these little sheets, and there was one left at the end of the day.
Wow.
And I filled it out. I actually filled it out and put Little Big Jimmy on it. I got the fish all wrong. And I tried to write like a little kid, with the lines going up and down. Like, look, I'm waiting for her to call me if she.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's
Yeah.
hilarious. Well, I'm glad that event went, and of course you stuck it out. You were able to stick it out for the entire length of the entire duration of the show. That's awesome, buddy.
Got home about 4:30. It was funny. I was going to take a run over to Manitic to see my buddy Dan, and had some jigs for him and some other stuff. I tied him up a bunch of little crappy jigs and stuff, and that he wanted for a guy. And I was going to take a run over, but he had to come and pick up a box from Mark from Weapons of Mass Destruction, his order for the store. So he ripped across to there and picked up everything. So I saved that. So I just had to go back home, and it's about, I don't know, it's like an hour and 10 minutes from my house. So I was home about 5 o'clock.
Wow.
So it was a long day. I woke up at 4:45 with the birds singing. But there's so much, well, what it's like here. There's so much
100%.
life out the back. So this morning I get up, I'm looking out the window, and I can hear a god awful commotion. I'm looking at, so I went and put my glasses on so I could see down at the waterfront, and I knew there was something going on, and there was something down there. I don't know whether it was, I don't think it was an otter. Might have been like a pine marten or something like that. I don't know. Or it was some like a giant squirrel looking type thing. It's a long way to the water, as you know. And it was chasing baby geese around trying to catch one. And the mom and the dad were chasing it, and then it would turn on, it would go at them. And a couple of times it just jumped at their head. It was hanging on their necks. And I'm imagining while he's hanging there, he ain't saying, "How are you today?" He's probably biting the hell out of it, right?
Wow.
He was just wild. I don't think he got one though.
Well, let's hope
He
not.
stuck
Man,
in by the front of the boathouse in the edge there.
yeah.
He was gone, but oh my God,
If he did, Tammy would have been devastated to know.
Yeah, the next time she
Don't you dare! Don't you dare!
they all got killed. It was 911.
Wow.
No.
Speaking of animals, again, we played just before we brought you in. Of course, the future anglers, and on behalf of Trevor and myself, I want to thank you so much for volunteering your knowledge, your expertise for some of our elite levels, because they're still in the midst of being put together. But how this all came to be, and I know you and I have spoke about this because it's something that has been done many times before and has failed many times before. And when Trevor presented it to me, of course, I was very lukewarm, and Trevor knows this if he's listening. He's a real estate agent, so he is bred to read people. And he said, "Scotty, you were very lukewarm when I first presented it." I said, "I just didn't want to burst your bubble, do. I didn't want to get you all excited about something that I know has been done and has not been successful. And he said, well, you might want to take a look at our fry program, our entry level program, because it's done by a frog. And of course, I took a step back and I said, what do you mean a frog? I said, show me this frog. So this frog does the
Anglers, let's try something.
Sorry.
We have reviewed fish in their habitats of weeds, rocks, drop-offs, ledges, and deadfall. Let's try
Okay. I didn't want it to play the volume, but basically this is what the instructional fry video looks like. And he asked in this situation, there's no wrong answer, but where would you start if you were targeting bass? And of course, it's time of year, water temps, this, that, and everything else. But when I saw this frog, I was immediately drawn, because if you could recall back, in between periods, there was something that played that got all of us kids very engaged in hockey, and it was Peter Puck. This, in my opinion, is the Peter Puck of fishing.
Yeah. When I saw that frog, I was drawn to it immediately.
It does that. It has that unbelievable canny. It's a habit, and he has a video of his grandson watching this frog, listening to this frog, and the kid is just like fixated on the image. And again, this fry level he's got completely done, and again, it's going to launch with the app. But it is, again, it's a means, it's a tool for teaching new anglers, new Canadians.
Could you imagine putting something like this in the CFN booth at the Sportsman Show?
Now you're on to me, buddy. You're on to me.
Just letting them just put the test part up,
Absolutely.
What do you really know? And
absolutely.
Boom, put it up. Takes you 2 minutes to do.
Absolutely.
Every kid would be standing there poking those buttons, and of course, kids with a joystick or anything that you would use for that. You and I'd be there for 45 minutes figuring out how to hit blade. The kids would be done. It's what they do now.
100%. 100%. It's really something, and I'm really excited to unveil it. I know I'm excited for Trevor, because he's spent an incredible amount of time working on this. And with the launch of the app, not only are we going to be able to invite and engage new anglers that don't speak our language, but we're now also going to have the ability to teach them, because the frog is able to speak various different languages. So
nice.
It's really cool, dude. We've really touched on something. And I was talking to Bob Mahoney on the weekend, and this really sort of came all from a conversation that we had a few years ago, where he said, Scotty, what are we going to do? How are we going to engage new Canadians? How are we going to talk to anglers that don't speak our language? We got to get them involved in our community. We got to get them involved, in the fishing industry economy, if you will. And I didn't really have an answer. And then I met Trevor, and I'll tell you, it's sky's the limit.
Well, if you put a conservation spin on part of this too, it would, and they can hear it in their own language, then it's going to take away a lot of the grief that we see happening in the sport fishing community towards people from other countries.
Where this all spawned from, and you will remember this, but up in the Barrie area, I don't want to say exactly where, but there was an incident, a confrontation that happened with some Asian anglers. Allegedly, I'm not exactly sure of all the details, but basically a ruling came down, and it was very much, they basically said, in not so many words, the government should do a more proactive job having these regulations available in different native tongues. Simply,
well, that's when they started printing them.
Yeah,
they had them available in the Toronto area for a while. I'm not sure how many different languages that they were in, they were out there. I don't know if they're still available like that.
I don't know either. I'll be honest, that there's not an app like this in Canada. So we're very proud to be the first to the trough, if you will. And usually the first one through the wall is the bloodiest. So we'll see where and how it takes us. But
I can dictate that's true.
Yes.
Want to see the scars? Want to see the scars? I'll never forget when I had the cancer and I had no hair, and we used to joke. And people, I used to say, "Do you think it's cool to be tall?" Look at my head, and they'd go, dents and scars and faces.
Very, very, yeah, very true. So as I said, but we will be launching all of this and making it a heck of a lot more readable, available, and understandable in the coming weeks and days. So
Maybe
stay
I could
tuned,
pick up a few
CFN.
tips too.
What's that?
Maybe I could pick up a few tips too.
I know I could, based on some of the stuff that I've seen. I'm learning all the time. I'm learning. And Jim, something I wanted to share right now that was shared to us in our legacy chat, and I'm so glad that Bill Mafrock's with us because he's the one that shared this. I had no idea how you could tell, and of course, I'm sure you do. This won't be a surprise to you, but there's an expiry date for fishing line, and which I knew there was. I knew, there's a shelf life with it. But I never knew the best before date. I never knew where to read it. And this video is a great education tool for all anglers to know exactly how to read the date on a spool of line.
C120. C March 1st, 2020. C120. C March 1st, 2020.
Now, I don't know if that's just for Berkeley products. I don't know if that holds true to other products as well, but you're going to, there you go.
Is that it right here, down in the other side?
Yes. Yeah.
See that? See those little?
Yep. I can barely make it out, but it's like
2718-2 or something.
Yeah. I did. So did you know that? I didn't know this.
I did not know that. So I'm looking at this and I'm going in the garbage can because it's got a 20 on it. It's
It's absolutely incredible. And as I said, I'm thrilled to have the legacy group that we do because we share stuff like this all the time. And I learned something today. I had no idea. I knew it had a shelf life, and after a certain amount of time, you should be, getting rid of your mono, getting rid of your fluorocarbon. Braid, not so much. I mean, as we've talked about on this show, sometimes to keep the color fresh, you reel it out and then reel it back in so that the faded part is on in the spool.
Ends, yeah.
Yeah.
Manufacturers don't like to hear that though.
No. But as I said, it's interesting because we constantly learn. This is what I love about all this because nobody knows everything.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
You might, but I know I don't, and I love being able to share this with people.
That's why I wondered. I was looking at the spool trying to figure where you were going. I mean, we used to tell how old the line was. I'd wrap it around my hands and you'd give it a jerk off the spool. And if it cut your hand, it was still good.
Interesting.
It didn't break.
Interesting.
Kind of a tough way to do it, but we used to do it or use line that's just so damn strong. Even if it gets old, it ain't gonna break.
Yeah.
Because that's tournament guys. Quite often, strong is the name of the game. So
100%. No, you're right, Erica. Yeah, we're always learning. Steve mentioned they post signs in several different languages in certain areas like sanctuaries. I've seen them at government docks too. To your point, Steve, I have seen multilingual signs at government docks, but now they'll be able to carry it along with them, and they'll be able to get not only just in Ontario but all across Canada.
Yeah, they didn't put up a sign on the dock here, so I just opened the window and yelled, "Season's closed! Get off the dock!"
Why am I not surprised? Oh, that's absolutely hilarious. So, on that note, of course, our good buddy Lawrence isn't able to make it tonight. He's got some website troubles, and Jay is he's burning the midnight oil. He's still out on the river. He's still
looking for a 3-pronged Terwilliger rock in a swamp somewhere.
So I had promised that we were going to do the what's the angle contest, but unfortunately Jay's not going to be able to make it tonight. So it's going to be a quick show. But before we go, Jim, I have something that I wanted to share with you. There's an event happening this weekend.
Well, that's right beside me.
Yes, I was wondering if you knew about this.
Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah, looking forward to this. We have such a blast, and there's a healthy group of volunteers that come out every
Oh,
year.
I got to tell you something before I forget. We won't have Pepe Parizzi in this year because he had a quad heart bypass this morning at 9 o'clock. I don't know how he was walking. He had 100% blockage, and the other three were 95 plus.
Holy!
How do you stay up? How do you stay upright when you're blocked up like that?
Holy smokes!
How do you stay
Well,
upright?
I will say this. You know, prayers and thoughts are with Pepe. He is such a gem of a human being, not just an angler, but just a gem of a human
He
being.
posted this morning, he's sitting in the bed in the room with all the dials and buzzers around him and everything, getting ready to go in, but he's still awake. And he posts, well, they're taking good care of me, whatever. And I went on and had to be smart and ask him where the beer fridge was and whatever and everything else. And then I said to him, well, look, if you're out of there by Wednesday, I expect you to be here on Saturday morning. I put the poster up just to remind you in case you forget, in case you're heavily sedated.
Yeah, you're right, Steve. Absolutely. Anyway, I'm so glad to hear that it wasn't horrible. Like, that's not great news, but it's not the worst news. And for a guy like Pepe, is such a gem of an individual.
But another guy that wasn't going to make it and is now is Gord Routcliffe.
Okay, right on. Aiden, Aiden's going to be with us. He mentioned I was just talking before we went live. He's going to be out, but as I said, it's a kaleidoscope of volunteers, all different backgrounds in all different areas. They all come together for this one cause, and it's a lot of fun, not just for the
I think they have more fun than the kids sometimes.
I was gonna say, dude, I enjoy it. I love it. I love going out and dispensing all the worms, making sure people are catching fish, taking pictures, this, that, and everything else. So yeah, really looking forward to this. This is gonna
What time are you gonna be here Friday night?
I'm hoping fingers crossed, to book a half day so that I can leave here at a half decent hour and beat the traffic. So that is my plan. We'll see how well it goes, but that's my plan right now.
Yeah, I'm going with Constable Joey on somewhere between the 2nd and the 4th. So I got to bring Tammy to the doctor tomorrow, and then Wednesday morning I got to go to Ottawa and get my brake pads changed.
Yeah,
because the thing came up in the truck telling me I was at 3%.
Mm-hmm.
So you get the pads changed. I guess that means you don't have to get the whole thing done later. So it's a couple of $100 or something instead of $1,000. So it's all good. We'll get that done on Wednesday morning, and then maybe Wednesday afternoon or Thursday I'll get I'll pick up all the toys there from him. We'll go down to Canadian Tire in Brockville. I'll meet him there. My granddaughter Grace is working there now, so
nice.
I'll have to put in a good word for her with the owner. They just gave her another shift. So she's in high school and she's making $500 a week.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Good for her.
She loves the money. She's got some beautiful clothes. She was showing, she got her nails done with these little inserts in them and everything. She was showing, they came on Sunday afternoon here for Tammy's birthday because they couldn't make it during the week. And, she was showing her nails with all the little things cut in them, and she had some fancy little bag she'd bought. She got on sale. I guess somebody had it on sale on the internet. It's worth $300, and it was it looks like it's brand new, and she got it for like $70 or something.
Wow. So
she's all impressed. It's a stylish, I guess, because they know the bag's a so-and-so's bag. So,
Well, she comes by it naturally. And I mean, happy belated birthday to Tammy, by the way. Holy smokes, I didn't even know it was her birthday. That's awesome.
Hard to believe, eh? 34.
Jeez.
I'm just an absolute cradle snatcher.
Well, you've done your time, pal. I know. You still have the ball and chain attached.
Recently.
Well, Jim, I bid you farewell for tonight and for a little while until we meet again on the weekend. But on behalf of all of us here at CFN, congratulations on this great news with BKK, and we look forward to next week where you're going to share even more.
Yeah. It'll be all good.
Right on,
Okay,
pal.
kiddies. Hey, you know, I saw a guy drowned up here on Little Rito,
Oh.
like Upper Rito, and no life jacket. Another guy drowned in Britannia Rapids in Ottawa. I don't know if he had a life jacket or not, but I'm assuming he didn't because he drowned. You know, it's kind of hard to drown with a life jacket on, or harder, I guess, anyways. But there's just two right there on the news tonight. I just thought to myself, and I'm always chirping about life jackets. I wear one when I go to bed now. I mean, I'm scared that I see all the people drowning just in case there's a flood during the night and I get washed out the window.
Oh, wow. Jeez. Well, Jim, great public service announcement. And yes, a great reminder that, you know what, we can never be too safe. It's awesome stuff, buddy.
No doubt about that. Oh, I got to show you something quick before I go. So I had a chance this week to get. I've been working on stuff for Dadson again. So this is not all one lure, obviously, but I put them all on a wire. So there's 3 lures there. You can see them. There's the black and chartreuse, the orange and yellow, and then everybody really that's seen them really seems to like this one here with all the brown and orange and gold. They just think it looks like something in the water anyway, like a perch or whatever. It's got a lot of green up the top and yellow. But that's the ones that I got done so far. So we'll be back on there with more.
Right on, pal.
Mail them out. I like doing it. It's fun.
Oh, I can imagine. Absolutely.
I'm making fluff right now.
Of course you are.
Gord Roadcliffe says to me, "Am I too late to order fluff?" I said, "Gord, you're never too late, but the price went up $1 now." So he says, "So I don't feel a sting as much. Just make me $100 worth."
That's
so
awesome.
He actually got the last of the jigs that I had when I used to make them for the Johnson boys. He actually got the last of the jig heads that were in the Johnson's box.
Wow.
Yeah. They all got the little extra small Gamakatsu hooks. They use smaller hooks than I would have thought of using. So
Interesting.
just a thought there.
Right on, pal.
Be good,
we'll see
Kitty.
you shortly. All the best, my friend.
I'm ready.
Take care. Oh, well, again, thanks so much for everybody joining us tonight. Of course, there is still lots going on this week, so stay tuned for that. Of course, we're going to have Tourney Tuesday tomorrow. Mike is hopefully going to be joining me, fingers crossed, so that we can give away one of the comp race to one of our lucky Comp Rate Conquer All Challenge participants. And also, we will have the Power Hour. We're hoping to have the Go Large Fish Ruler folks, Randy and Ron, on Wednesday to discuss about that. But at the end of the day, for those who are out fishing, enjoy yourself, catch me a whale, and have yourselves a great week. Until we meet again, we will be back here probably at 8 o'clock tomorrow just to make sure Mike can join us. Until then, I think it's time, Dave. Take us away. Love you all. Take care. Peace.
Well, as much as I hate to admit it, I guess we've run out of time. So I've enjoyed it, but I'm going to do something I haven't done since season 1. Turn out the lights. The party's over. They say that all good things must end.